Someone tell me. हिजो के पढेको हो?
The purpose of work.
Okay. The purpose of work पढ्नु भएको भने आज हामीले के पढ्छौं भन्दाखेरि Unit 4 को additional reading. Women have what it takes, page 219. Okay. Okay, can you see the screen? देखिन्छ त्यो पाठको screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The issue that Carol Barkalow raises in this essay is whether we should allow girls or women to join combat units in the army. A combat unit in the army is that unit which takes part in face-to-face battle and in which either people kill or they get killed. So some people argue that women should not be allowed in the combat unit because women do not have the courage to kill an enemy. And in this essay, the writer is answering this objection. She begins by describing the attitude towards women in the military. She says that when she passed her high school at the age of 16, she joined the first batch of women in American force at West Point. And when they greeted their seniors, who were often men, saying, "Good morning, sir," their seniors responded by saying, "Good morning, bitch." Look, the men called the women in the military as a bitch. A bitch is a female dog, and a bitch is a woman, a girl who offers herself for sex. So men's attitudes were not good in the beginning, but gradually these attitudes changed. And she says that after 10 years, when she went back to the academy, her classmates had completely changed, and now they recognize women as their equals. But some people still do not recognize women as the equals of men, and they give a number of reasons that women should not go in the battlefield because people see women as mother. How can you get your mother killed? People see woman as wife. You protect your wife. People see woman as daughter. You would never want your daughter to be killed. Then she says, but then, do we want our sons to be killed? Then she says, nobody wants to get killed in battlefield. Getting killed is always tragic. Getting killed is always painful. So if we can allow a son to fight in battlefield, we should allow a daughter also to fight in battlefield if daughter chooses to go in the army. If a woman, if a daughter chooses to be in the army, in the combat platoon, combat unit, then girls should be allowed to be in the army. Then she gives her background. The writer says that, क्या उसका नाम yes, Carol Barkalow. Carol Barkalow says that she is a Navajo woman. A Navajo is a tribe in America, Native American tribe, Indian tribe, and says that Navajo is a matriarchal society where women control things. For example, Navajo women own the land, Navajo women owned their houses, Navajo women have sheep and other economic property, and Navajo women introduce themselves by their mother's clan, unlike Nepalese who introduce themselves father's clan. Navajo women can divorce their husband simply by telling them to leave home. They give the saddle and they take your horse and go. Navajo women are powerful and they are respected. They don't have to fight because they have equality. They are strong, smart women. Then she says that she joined Gulf War in 1990 in Iraq. She was a member of the support unit, not combat unit. But in the military and outside military also, she says there is always one question. What question? This question. Do women have what it takes to kill an enemy face to face? महिलाले आफ्नो अगाडि आएको दुश्मनलाई मुख्यमा हिर्काएर मार्न सक्छन्, काटेर मार्न सक्छन्, गोली हान्न सक्छन्, लड्न सक्छन्. Can they kill an enemy on their face? There is a question asked, and some people argue that no, women can't do. किनभने, what do they argue? They say that women don't have the courage to kill the enemy. And then she answered the question saying, if you think women don't have courage to kill, come and study the America-Vietnam War. Because in Vietnam War, the Viet Cong women in the Vietnamese guerrilla war were so tough that they did not allow their enemy to go alive. They made sure that they always killed their enemy. So she says that the Vietnam War has the proof that women have the guts to kill people, kill enemy face to face. Second objection is we should not take women in the army because if there is fighting, men will stop fighting and they will protect the women. Then she says, when a man protects another man, you define this as heroism and valor. But when a man protects a woman, you define this as overprotection. So this is discrimination. Third objection is, third objection is, women are not qualified physically. Women do not have the same physical strength as men. Then she says that no, women have mental strength, emotional strength. Look, women can deliver a baby. Can men deliver a baby? The fact that women handle delivery, women bear that pain of delivery, labor pain, proves that women can bear that stress of the battlefield. Third objection is, if you take women in army, they'll become pregnant and for 9 months they will not be available for fighting. She answers by saying that it's not only men, it's not only women who are not available, even men are unavailable because they get injured. And then she says that why do you blame women for pregnancy? Because women become pregnant only because men have sex with them. So you can't blame women only for this issue, because without men's contribution, women can't be pregnant. So she says women should be allowed to be in the army because women are competent, women are capable, and women are committed. Then she says that do not discriminate against women on the basis of their gender. If women can compete, if women can qualify like men, allow them to be in the army. Okay, now we have an opposite view. Somebody disagrees. They say, no, we must not allow women in the army because number one, they destroy the unity of the military. Because in military, there are combat units of 20, 30, 40 people, and these men are very much united. They live together, they fight together, they die together. But when you bring a woman in that group, the first problem will come that women will be physically different, they cannot perform as men, and this will create a problem. Second, if you bring women in a group of men, there will be sexual tensions. There might be a rape, there might be harassment. Or if you control rape and harassment, what about if a man and a woman agree to have sex and they have sex? Because when you go to fight, you are in the jungle. You can be anywhere. You can be alone with a man. And if suppose there is sexual attraction and you stop fighting and you start having sex, what then? Then your love interest will collide against the mission. Your mission is to kill the enemy, and you will stop killing enemy and you will make love in the jungle. So we should not take women in military. Second, some people say that women are physically inferior. But then she says that yes, different people have different ability. Michael Jordan, then he says that look, you can't talk about equality. Michael Jordan has a special physical feature, so he is paid high. So men have physical superiority. So we should not take women in the army. Then some people say that we cannot agree that in the name of job equality, women should come in the army. No, the most important thing in the army is combat readiness. Are you ready to kill? And women are not ready to kill. Okay, अब अर्कोमा जाउँ है. Androgynous male. Let me show a picture to you, and then I'll talk. Answer yes. Let me share an image. एउटा म इमेज सेयर गर्छु. Okay, on the screen, let me highlight a picture. You see, this is Miss Anjali Lama, an international model for Lakme beauty products and other beauty products. Anjali Lama is originally from Nepal. She was born as a boy, and then she realized that she's actually a girl in the boy's body, and she went through hormonal treatment, and now she has grown up breasts like women. Look her body, sunken cheeks. She looks like women. Look her pictures here. Let me show some more pictures of Anjali Lama. Look these pictures. Does she anyhow look like a man? Most probably no. Look, in Indian lehenga and outfit, look. So what I'm showing a picture of an androgynous male, a man who is both man and woman. Anjali is biologically also, she has grown up breasts, but not necessarily a man may not have a grown up breast, but he may have feminine characteristics. But be careful that we are not talking about gays, we are not talking about third gender, we are talking about the androgynous people. What is androgynous? What does androgynous mean? Androgynous means having the physical characteristics of both male and female. The writer, when he was 16 years old, he was traveling to Colorado in a train. He was going there to get a job of horse trainer, horse wrangler. Because he was shy, he didn't like talking to people. To pass time, he decided to read some books. Then he found a magazine in the train. He read the magazine, and in the magazine there was a quiz. One quiz was, how masculine and feminine are you? He was curious and he decided to take the quiz test. The test was like this. There were ink blot. त्यो इङ्कको थोपा खसाल्यो भने कागजमा पिक्चर बन्छ नि, त्यो स्ट्रेन्ज पिक्चर, एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट. There were ink blots and you had to match with something. For example, does this ink blot look like a cloud? Does it look like a steam engine? Does it look like a caterpillar? Does it look like a sofa? If you said that the ink blot looked like a sofa and steam engine, you were masculine. If you thought that the ink blot looked like a caterpillar and cloud, you were feminine. And you know what happened? Out of 10, according to this quiz test, he was 1.2 male and 9 point female. He was shocked. He was shocked because biologically he had male sexual parts, but this magazine was telling that he was a female. He was shocked. So he decided to do some research about this thing. And he says that maleness and femaleness are very complicated concept. We cannot talk about male and female only. We have a third category, that is the category of androgynous males and androgynous females. He says there is a large class of men and women to which I belong, and this large class is known as the androgynous. Okay. Now he says that if you are an androgynous, then you have a lot of freedom. Right? What is the freedom? You don't have to be like all male He-Man, 100% John Cena. You don't have to be a sex bomb. You don't have to be an item. You don't have to be a feminismo. You don't have to be a macho. Right? But some people want to be like 100% men and they suffer. Right? Then he says, androgynous men are freer than other men. What is this freedom? He says that like women, men also come in a variety. There is a variety of men. You don't talk about only macho men. Right? There is a range of men. And then he writes that, okay, if you are androgynous, the freedom you get is that you can play the role of a mother, you can play the role of a nurse, you can take care of your child, you can be sentimental, you can do sewing work, you can kiss a cat, you can do domestic household work, you can publicly show emotion, you can cry in public. You don't have to be a macho man. You don't have to be a feminismo. If you are in between, you have these freedom. That's all. Siddhu. Kehi chaina. Next story. यो मसँग यहाँ soft copy छैन. म तपाईलाई story quickly बताउँछु. The Princess and the Admiral is a fable. The princess is a woman, the admiral is a man, the admiral is army commander. A fable is a story which often has animals as characters and which teaches a moral truth or a lesson. This story is based on the 13th century attack by Kublai Khan on Vietnam, and this is written by Charlotte Pomeranz, American writer. And what this story teaches is that dignity and equality for all. Once upon a time, there was a country ruled by a princess. The name of this country was Tiny Kingdom. This country was very poor, so no foreign countries attacked it. So this country was always at peace, and it had been 100 years that there was no war in this country. So this year, this country was going to celebrate 100 years of peace. So the princess ordered for preparations. When preparations were going on to celebrate 100 years of peace, somebody came to the princess and informed her that they could not celebrate the peace ceremony because enemies were going to attack her country. Then she called her ministers for advice. The admirals, ministers who were men, they advised the princess to get ready for war. But the princess did not want to have war. So she called her royal astrologer, a female, and asked the astrologer about the position of moon and the sun to find out when there will be tide in the ocean. The astrologer gave her the date when tides will rise and fall. Then the princess told her people to cut 253 trees. Then her people cut 253 trees, and they made one end of the tree sharp like nail. And when the waters went down, they dug all these trees, they just fixed all these trees in the beach. Next day, tides came up and all these tree stumps were covered underwater. Then the enemies came in their big ships, and these enemies landed at the beach. But before they could land, they were there. Then the tides went down. As tides went down, ships sank below, and these ships got stuck on the high stumps of the trees. So all the enemies were captured in a trap. The commander was arrested. Now the military of the princess or the admirals wanted to kill the commander. But the princess said, "No, we will not kill anybody. We will behave them with respect and friendship." And the princess excused, pardoned the enemy admiral's life. And she said, "No, we will not kill you." She treated them pretty well. She gave them some gifts, and they were so happy. They decided to return, and she set them free, and her country was safe, protected, without any bloodshed, without any killing, without any fight. A story. अब तपाईँले के गर्नु पर्यो? Write the list of all the characters in two columns. Male characters, female characters, and third ma androgynous को छ. Then write what each character will do. Especially focus on what role men play in the story, what role women play in the story. Look, When a country is ruled by a princess, there is no war, there is no fighting, there is no killing. But her admirals are men who always want to fight and kill. So men always want to fight, women always want to remain in peace. अरू कुरा पढ्नुस् पत्ता लगाउनुस् नेक्स्ट स्टोरी मेरो स्क्रिनमा छ म किताबबाट पढिरहेको छु है द ग्रेटर गड द ग्रेटर गड इज अ पोएम बाई Indian born poet American poet Rakesh Ratte. In this poem the writer compares women with men and he says that often we think that man is greater, women are lesser. We think that the male is greater God, female is greater. Vishnu, Lakshmi, Shankar, Parvati, Brahma, Saraswati. We first name the male gods, then we name the female gods as secondary. But in this poem, he says that women are first, not second. Let's read. Follow in your book on page 233. She, the lesser god, a shadow of the greater. She, the fearful, more powerless than I. She with sandur in her hair, a crimson chain of subservience passed from father to husband. Look, quickly put it. She, the lesser god. I mean, line 1. People think that a woman is secondary. She, the lesser god, a shadow of the greater. Look, घरमा नि के हुन्छ ड्याडी फर्स्ट मम्मी सेकेन्ड हुन्छ नि सी द फियरफुल घरमा लेडिजहरु डराइराख्नुपर्छ के हुन्छ डराउने लुक फियरफुल पावरलेस किन विथ द सन्दुर इन हेयर केले त्यसो बनाएको सिन्दुर हालाइ भएर लाइक सी इज सबजर्भिएन्ट सी इज लाइक अ स्लेभ passed from father to husband. She is a servant in home. Look, लुगा धुने मम्मी खाना पकाउने मम्मी सफा गर्ने मम्मी उपचार गर्ने मम्मी जे गर्ने मम्मी she has devotion. She is silent, right? Look, she has to speak soft. मिठो बोल्नु पर्छ केटी मान्छे भएर right? She has to be kind. She has to sing bhajans. Dance कसले गर्छ लेडिजले गीत कसले गाउँछ लेडिजले right? And she the central thread that hold the tapestry together. घरमा सबै मिलाउने कसले लेडिजले okay? She absorbs pain, she absorbs sorrow, still she keeps smiling, right? She takes parts in all puja, right? She whose threats I often laughed at. अब मम्मीले गाली गर्नु त हाँस्नुहुन्छ नि ड्याडीले त गाली गर्नु सिधै कुट्नुहुन्छ झाप्पड लाउनुहुन्छ हाँस्नु गरे भने रुनुहुन्छ तोरीको फुल निस्किन्छ अब मम्मीले गाली गरे भने हाँस्नुहुन्छ थाहा छ कुट्नुहुन्न मम्मीले भन्ने I often laughed at, for through the fissures between our words flowed the love of she embodied. Even when mommy scolds, you see her love. She who was nothing was all. She the lesser to me was greater God. The poet says that my mother was not a second God, but she was the first God to me. अब कहाँ जाउँ भने Unit 3 में जाऊँ है एक मिनट let me open Unit 3 mass media and technology okay अब हामी पढ्छौँ yes कहाँ आउनुहोस् भने अब तपाईको एकचोटि युनिट 3 को डिक्सनरीमा आउनुहोस् त युनिट 3 को पेज Page 171. Page 171. Students will not download. Sure. Let's share it. I think share it. Okay. Let me share right there. Okay. Here we go. देखने बाद this essay is about students' attitude about downloading music from the internet. अथवा और कुनै पनि कुरा कपिराइट मटेरियलहरु. What do students think about whether we should be allowed to download music or not from internet? Copyright हुन्छ. Okay, पढौँ है त. In the rough and tumble भनेको disorderly action and disregard for rule. हुलमुल हुन्छ नि. In the rough and tumble of the student union here at Pennsylvania State University, the moral code is purely pragmatic. हरेक कलेजमा नियमहरु हुन्छन् नि. तपाईले पनि एलएमा पनि त कुनै फर्म भएर आएको होला. म यो गर्छु म यो गर्दिन भनेर. यहाँ पनि नियम रहेछ. हेर्नुस् के रहेछ नियम. Thou shall not smoke. क्याम्पस भित्र बाहिर चुरोट नखाने. It will kill you. Thou shall not lift a term paper of the internet. दिवाकर सरले दिएको क्वेशन घरमा जाँदिँदाखेरि भाइबरमा साथीको नेटबाट सारा नलेख्ने. दिवाकर सरको इंग्लिश पेपर दिँदाखेरि गुगलमा हेरेर नलेख्ने. लेख्यो भने के हुन्छ किक आउट हुन्छ. Thou shall not use a fake ID. You will get arrested. अब क्वेशन आउँछ. यो त भयो आईडी को कुरा, नेट को कुरा, स्मोकिङ कुरा. But when it comes to downloading music or movies of the internet, students here compare it with underage drinking. पहिलो कुरा विद्यार्थीले के कम्पेयर गर्छ. Downloading music is like underage drinking, illegal but not immoral. So what do you think? Downloading music may be illegal. ठीक छ, कानुनले नगर भन्छ होला, but it is not immoral. Like alcohol, illegal हुन्छ नि 21 वर्ष नपुगेको खाना, but people drink and party. अब किन यस्तो भन्छ? Why they think? Because the internet is easily available. यही से क्लिक अगाडि. Why not download? The alcohol is easily available. Why not drink? Second कुरा, everyone is doing, so why not me? सबैले रक्सी खान्छ त म पनि खाइदिन्छु. सबैले डाउनलोड गर्छन् म नि गर्दिन्छु. Look the reason. Why do they download? See the attitude. Number one, it may be illegal, but it is not immoral. Number two, it is easily accessible, so you can download. Number three, everyone is downloading, so you also can download. This set of commandments has helped make people between the age of 18 and 29 and college students in particular the biggest downloaders of internet music. Question आउँछ के आउँछ? What has helped make people biggest downloaders of internet music? Question जाँचमा. It's not something you feel guilty about doing. Why do people download? because they do not feel guilty about doing it. You don't get the feeling it's illegal because it's so easy. He held an MP3 player in his hand. They sell these things. The sites are there. Why? Is it illegal? Illegal. Students say they have had the internet for as long as they can remember and have grown up thinking of it as they are for taking. हामी त नेटमा भएको सबै हामी लिन्छौँ झिक्छौँ त्यो पैसा तिर्नुपर्छ र the array of services available to them on campus has only encouraged that sense that क्याम्पसमा अरू कुरा खाना फ्री छ किताब लाइब्रेरी दिन्छ भने what do they think? Internet is also free. Penn State recently made the student center known as the hub entirely wireless. So students do not even have to dial up to get on internet. In comfortable armchair, they sit clicking on Google searches, their ears attached to iPods, cell phones, a hand away. A swipe of the student ID gets them free newspaper. Look, they get free newspaper. They don't need a cash. Swipe your card. Paper. The cost included in the student fee to buy anything from a caramel cafe. About you, canteen man. त्यहाँ पनि स्वाइप गरिदियो पैसा दिनु परेन अनि चाहिँ they get so many things free के so there is a bank branch travel agency हैन okay many courses put all materials textbook excerpt article syllabus free मा online मा हुन्छ residence halls offer fast broadband access which studies say make people more likely to avoid or people download because they are very fast internet. एक click करो केही second में download हुन्छ. It kind of spoils us in a sense because you get used to it, said Jill Wilson, 20, a sophomore. The ease of going online has shaped not only attitudes about downloading but cheating as well. किन बढी डाउनलोड हुन्छ? The ease के एकदम सजिलो. जैसे पसलमा गयो भने त किताब फ्रीमा लिन पाइन नि चोरेको हुन्छ नि blurring the lines between right and wrong so much that many colleges now require orientation courses that give students specific examples of what plagiarism looks like. Plagiarism भनेको copying others ideas without their permission, without acknowledgement. Students generally know not to buy a paper off the internet, but many think it is okay, के नै फरक पर्छ र ओके मैले त्यहाँ कपी गरेको हो त्यही छ त त्यहाँ मैले कपी पो गरेको हो पुरै झिका त हैन नि त्यही छ नि मुभ गरे हैन नि तपाईले डाउनलोड गरे पनि त्यही हुन्छ to pull a paragraph or two as long as they change a few words before when you had to go into the library and at least type it into your paper you were pretty conscious about what you were doing, said Janice Jacob, Vice Provost for undergraduate education here. That means we do have to educate students about what is okay. It's the same whether you are talking about plagiarizing a phrase from a book or article or downloading music. It all seems free to them. Last year and again last week, the university sent out an email message reminding students that downloading copyrighted music was illegal and pleading with them to resist the urge to download. It also warned students that it had begun monitoring how much information students are downloading and that they could lose their internet access if their weekly use exceeds a limit administration. Okay, the quality here, you can download only this much bar, described as equivalent to tens of thousands of email messages sent. This year, all students had to take an online tutorial before receiving access to study. Receiving access to Okay. Okay, miss by action है क्या? हाँ, receiving access to study कहाँ गया? action है, मैं खुद इसे miss by गया था. Access to email. पेज छूटे क्या? action है. This year यहाँ भयो यहाँ मैले मार्गौँ है. This year access to मेरो लाइन किताबबाट पढ्छु त त्यहाँ स्क्यान भएर छ. Access to their email accounts, acknowledging that they had read and agreed to university policy prohibiting the downloading of copyrighted material. Okay. At the same time, यहाँ recently, यहाँबाट. At the same time, realizing the difficulties of stopping downloading, 10 states president Graham B. Spanier is hoping to try out a program this spring where the university would pay for the rights to music. Look, the solution. The college will pay for the music and let students download freely, and then allow students to download at will. To students, the crackdown, the action taken by college, seemed like a sudden reversal. Up until recently, we were not told it was wrong, said Christine. We think if it is available, you can use it. It's another resource. When representatives from the Technology Services Department told students about the bandwidth monitoring, Ms. Ebert said they outlined the reasonable limits in terms of movies downloaded. They were encouraging it, but they used it as a frame of reference. They were aware, but they were not doing anything to correct it. Penn State has taken a harder line than most other campuses. But whether here or at other campuses, students do not seem to be grasping the moral message. Not getting it. Nagara bhanyo त्यही गर्ने. Download नगर भने गर्ने, right? According to study by the Pew Internet and American Life Project last spring, 56% of college students downloaded music compared with 25% of non-students, and those students are more likely than downloaders in general. You scan गर्दाखेरि सब गडबड भएछ कि. 80% to 67% to say they do not care that the music is copyrighted when they download it. Look, the response, attitude. The study came before recent lawsuits by the recording industry against 261 people it says have shared copyrighted music over the internet. But researchers defend the report's relevancy, saying it came after the industry had shut down Napster and begun a widespread advertising campaign against illegal downloading. Similarly, studies by the Center for Academic Integrity show a decline in traditional peer over uh, uh, decline traditional peering over someone's shoulder cheating, but a steady rise in internet plagiarism from 1999 to 2003. Here, the warnings against plagiarism seem to have sunk in better than those about downloading. But even some of the lessons about plagiarism came as a surprise to students who had freely used the internet in high school. When I came in, I didn't expect any of this to be plagiarism, said Maria, 25. Sanson, 22, a senior student, says the idea you had to cite what you took off the internet was new. I think a lot of people don't know where to draw the line. Elizabeth is director of the Kennard Institute of Ethics at Duke University said she suspected that older generations were not more ethical, just less techno savvy. I don't think we have done a very good job of making the argument that it's different if it's copyrighted. Do not download if it is copyrighted. Miss Kiss said, if students haven't grown up with that being a conversation, they are not thinking about it. Maneko, we need to teach students right from beginning about these things. And Morrissey, 19, confessed that she had not even listened to all the songs she had downloaded. Arbani हुन्छ नि आएको सबै डाउनलोड गर्ने युज नगर्ने. I have 400 songs. I listen only 20, she said. I don't know why she added, then laughed self-consciously and answered herself, you can and it's cool to have them. Okay, Lara. You download because it's cool to have so many songs in your mobile phone, iPad. She, like others, does not see the harm done. अब harm त हुन्छ नि. When you download others, finish the harm हुँदैन. कसैको त they sell, they earn money, and remain suspicious of the recording industry. How are you going to make downloading illegal when you can still smoke legally? ल उसको कम्पेरिजन हेर्न चुरोट खान पाउने डाउनलोड गर्न किन नपाउने and give yourself lung cancer. Miss Moriji asked, there are a lot worse issues you could focus on. The university has sent warnings about exceeding bandwidth to a couple of hundred students, but on a campus with 42,000 students, punishment seems remote to many. No one close to home has gotten in trouble, said Andrew Ricken, a junior. A common analogy, downloading music is like stealing a CD. Does not sway students. Many argue that they are spending more money on music. I never went out and bought CDs. Now I go to concerts because I know what kind of music people play, said Kristen Lipsky, 20. If you can get your music out to a big group of people to listen to, they will go to your CD. They will go to your concert. Spend money on posters. It's really expensive, especially for college students to buy the whole CD. Mr. Langlitz was on his way to a concert downtown by taking back Sunday, a band he said he would never have heard about without downloading. A lot of the bands I know about are not that well known. Before I saw their CDs, I had them in my computer. These are same arguments adults make. But while adults who remember the days of LPs seem willing to pay 99 cents a song, students see any transition from free as a denial of basic right. $1 a song is just not worth it, said Edwin Shaw, a 20-year-old junior walking across campus with his MP3 player and trying to confirm which night the red hot chili peppers were playing on campus. At best, the new warnings seemed to have some students negotiating new rules. At a table with friends, John Dixon was debating whether he would be caught if he traded songs only with his roommates on their local area network off campus. Just, just to be safe. He is sticking mostly to downloading music from CDs. He is not sharing his file, not because he sees it as illegal, but because he hears that the record industry is going mainly after sharers, not downloaders. The risk is higher, Mr. Dixon said. Miss Wilson too is not sharing, though she has continued downloading. That does not make it right, she said, but it's not that big a deal, right? मैले के गरेँ फास्ट पढेँ तपाईँले केही पनि बुझाइन ल किन बुझाइन भने इट्स सो प्लेन यहाँ कतै पनि टिचरले चाहिँ प्याराफ्रेज गर्नुपर्ने केही पनि छैन तपाईँले सुन्नुभयो भने बुझ्नुभयो होला आफै पढ्दा नि बुझ्नुहुन्छ देयर आर अ नम्बर अफ स्टुडेन्ट्स इन्टरभ्युड एन्ड देयर आर अडल्ट्स इन्टरभ्युड कलेज स्टुडेन्ट्स हेभ वान टाइप अफ एटिट्युड मोस्टली तिमीले के ठान्छ यु क्यान डाउनलोड बिकज इट्स फ्री you can download because it's so easy, you can download because it's there, and you can download freely because other things are free, right? So तपाईले पढ्नुहुन्छ भने एउटा कपीमा नोट बनाउनुस्, write the name of the student and write the response. उले के भन्यो, that's all. त्यति भए पुग्छ. हामी आजले यति मात्रै गर्छौं. मैले यहाँ अहिले एसएमएस पाइरहेको छु मेरो मोबाइलमा फोन चाहिँ तपाईकै क्लासबाट होला आई गेस तपाईहरुले मसँग टाइम मागिराख्नु भएको छ ए क्लासको हो कि हाम्रो अहिले मैले मेसेज कसको पाइरहेको छु भने म भन्छु ल ए क्लासको भने प्रतिमाको मेसेज छ प्रतिमा ए क्लासको
हो सर
ओके मैले तिम्रो मेसेज पाएँ मेरो आज चाहिँ बेलुका 8 बजेसम्म बुक छ तिमी 8 देखि 9 टाइम लिन सक्छौ र अर्को अप्सन प्रतिमा के छ भने त्यो टाइम मैले 1 घण्टा र 30 मिनट दिएको हुन्छु र धेरै के हुन्छ भने कपीहरु राम्रो लेखेको छ मिस्टेकहरु कम छ भने आधी घण्टामा भ्याउँछ कि त्यो भएर तिमी के गर भन्दाखेरि मलाई यो तिम्रो सेल नम्बर यहाँ पठाऊ अथवा मैले बिर्सिन भने आई माइट मेसेज यु वर्ड मैले भन्न खोजेको अरूहरुको काम चाँडो सकिन सक्छ अनि बीचमा टाइम खाली हुन्छ के शेड्युल अनि त्यो खाली भएको टाइममा चाहिँ मैले तिमीलाई यसरी बोलाउँछु आउन सक्छौ
हुन्छ सर
ओके ओके आज म 11 बजेबाट सुरु गर्छु जस्तै मैले पहिले एकजनालाई 11 देखि 12:30 बोलाएको छु अब उनको कपी चाहिँ राम्रो छ भने 10 मिनेट 20 मिनेट सकिन्छ तपाईको राइटिङमा कुनै फ्ल छैन मिस्टेक छैन राम्रो लेख्नु भएको छ भने चाँडो सकिन्छ फिडब्याक सेसन खासै भन्नुपर्ने केही पनि हुँदैन तपाईको राइटिङमा प्रब्लमहरु बढी छ मैले बढी कुरा भन्नुपर्ने हुन्छ अनि टाइम लाग्छ मैले चाहिँ नर्मली 1 घण्टा र 30 मिनट 1 आवर 30 मिनट दिएको हुन्छु सबैलाई त्यही दिएको टाइम तर त्यो 1 घण्टा 30 मिनट कहिले लाग्छ भने एकदमै बढी एरर छ लेख्नै जानेको छैन सबै बिगारेको छ धेरै कुरा सिकाउनु पर्ने भयो भने इट टेक्स 1.5 आवर बट इफ इट इज रिलेटिभली बेटर इट टेक्स लेसर त्यो कुरा हो है ल मैले अब ब्रेक गर्छु 10:30 भयो म खाना खान जान्छु 10:30 बज्यो र ठीक 11 बजेबाट म क्लासमा हुन्छु म चाहिँ मैले उनीहरुलाई कल गर्न भनेको छु सुरुमा उनीहरुले कल गर्छन् यो ए पनि होला बी पनि होला अब ए सायद प्रोबेबली हिजो मसँग धेरै टाइम माग्ने को थियो मैले बिर्सिरहेको छु है सायद ए को बी को थियो कि ए को थियो मैले बिर्सेँ मैले टिपेको छैन म पहिला कल वेट गर्छु उनीहरुले मलाई कल गर्छन् सर हाम्रो टाइम भयो भनेर सेक्सन सोध्छु अनि अहिले स्टार्ट र तपाई के गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ भने यो यही लिंक आउँछ तपाईको साथीले कम्फर्टेबल फिल गर्नुहुन्छ भने तपाई छेउमा बसेर सुन्न सक्नुहुन्छ र कहिलेकाहीँ के हुन्छ भने यो धेरै जनाको अगाडि चाहिँ त्यो फिडब्याक दियो भने तपाईलाई अप्ठ्यारो हुन सक्छ मैले फ्र्याङ्क बोल्छु ल कहिले कस्तो हुन्छ भने म टिचर हो मैले मिस्टेक भए देखाउँछु यहाँ गल्ती भएको छ भन्छु रातो लगाएको हुन्छ सर्कल गरेको हुन्छ म करेक्सन गर्छु मैले गाली त गर्दिनँ, म रुड हुँदिनँ, एकदम राम्ररी सिकाउँछु, तर सिकाउँछु। कहिले कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि अब तपाईँको साथी पनि हुनुहुन्छ अनि यति माथि मिस्टेकहरू हुन्छ, मैले सबै एक एक भन्छु। तपाईँको मनमा चाहिँ ओहो यो सबै कुरा त साथीको अगाडि नभनिदिएको भए हुन्थ्यो, मलाई मात्रै भने भए हुन्थ्यो भन्ने पनि हुनसक्छ कि। त्यस्तो हो भने साथी लिएर नआउनु होला, एक्लै आउनु होला। र होइन के फरक पर्छ सर, साथी पनि म जस्तै त हो नि, उसले यस्तै गर्छ, मेरो जस्तो उसको उस्तो केही फरक पर्दैन सर, हामीलाई ग्रुपमै हुन्छौँ, तपाईँले फ्रेङ्कली भन्दा हुन्छ, वी डोन्ट माइन्ड भन्ने हो भने यु क्यान कम इन अ ग्रुप। ठिक छ, बुझ्नुभयो?
बुझेँ
तपाईँले
सर।
तपाईँलाई अरूको अगाडि तपाईँको मिस्टेकहरूबारे बोलेको भनेको अप्ठ्यारो लाग्छ भने एक्लै आउनुहोस्। अरूको अगाडि तपाईँको मिस्टेक एक्सपोज गरेको सिकाएको यो हुनुपर्छ भनेकोमा अप्ठ्यारो लाग्दैन भने कम इन अ ग्रुप। ओके, थ्याङ्क यू।
थ्याङ्क यू सर।
Thank you, sir.
हेलो हेलो, अब के गर्ने, कसको पालो आयो? आज त 8 बजेसम्म खाली छैन रे
त्यही त
मेरो।
आठ बजेसम्म छैन।
त्यही भनेको जस्तो खाली
एकछिन
नभएको।
एकछिन 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 रिकर्डिङ